Welcome to Tales Square Entitled Parents segment, where we dive into outrageous stories about parents who believe the rules don't apply to them. Coming up next, OP's mom cut her off after years of relentless mental abuse. My mom cut me off after mentally abusing me for years. So, background. My parents divorced a few years ago. Before that, my mother, 49F, and I, 19F, were inseparable, and I always told her everything. I didn't talk to my dad, 49M, much at all. Shortly after the divorce, my mom started dating, and I supported her relationship because she found herself good company. I don't particularly like this man myself, but I still go out with them. My father found himself a wife, 39F, with a teenage daughter, 12F. I like them both. We get on well and joke around all the time. My mother was jealous for a long time whenever I spent time with my father and my new stepmother. I think she was afraid I'd replace her. I liked it more at my dad's because my friends were still there, and my dad didn't nag me about every little thing. My mother used to scream so loudly at me when I was little that the neighbors could hear her all the way outside. I had forgotten to do my homework or didn't hear her calling me into the living room. I was really having fun at my dad's, but I didn't want to spend any more time in my mom's flat, so I wanted to move in on my own. The perfect opportunity came half a year ago when my grandfather's, on my father's side, tenant moved out. I got to live on my own. My mom heard about this and was a little upset that I didn't wait until the end of high school to move out. Mom, good that you are moving out so you don't have to suffer from me. Before I moved, my mother was busy blaming me for everything. I had either forgotten my keys in my room or they were at the bottom of my bag, but I couldn't find them. I had just come from the opening night of our school play. It was getting closer to midnight, and I tiredly called my mother to see if she could come and unlock the door. My mother lives in an apartment building. She came in angry and started shouting loudly in the staircase. Mom, get ready to pack all your stuff. I've been thinking that you should move in with your father completely. I am not your servant. I was still living half with my mom and half with my dad at the time. I was going to my room to pack my overnight stuff, and my friend S was coming to pick me up at my dad's. Mom, you're just like your dad. You take advantage of me, and then when you don't need me anymore, you're just angry and awful towards me. I'm only human. I snapped. Me? I've heard that phrase from all the awful people. I don't like it one bit. Mom, oh well, you think I'm an awful person. Me? No, I don't. Mom, yes, you do. Me? No, I don't. Mom, yes, you do. Me? No, I freaking don't. Bye. Then I hurried down to wait for my ride, even though she wasn't supposed to fetch me for another half hour. So many of these kinds of pointless tantrums had already happened, you can vaguely understand why I wanted to move out on my own. Every time, she managed to mention how she was only human. Mom, I always think that you don't spend much time with me when you're here, and you get away with housework and stuff, and you don't do anything with me. You'd probably rather go where you feel good than stay with me, but you're always in your own room sulking. Me, yeah, hey, I'd probably feel better talking to you and spending time with you if you didn't start complaining about everything every time. And it's just a little thing. Mom, you only like me when I smile. I can't smile all the time. Me, you don't have to, as long as you don't complain all the time. I was ready to watch a movie with you tonight, but no. Mom, no, you weren't. Me, I was. I slammed my door and went to my room because my company wasn't good enough, even though it was wanted. Mom, you always get angry right away. You only come to me when you need help or money. You surely don't behave like that with your father. Your father and stepmother must treat you better than I do, and in your best interests, of course. That's probably why you wanted to go on holiday with them, far away from me. I'm just like this. Me, yes, imagine your own. Mom, well, you're giving it away here. Would you rather be with your father than here if it's so nice there? And it goes on for dozens of minutes almost every day. In response to that wonderful rage, she guilt-trips me into love and apologies. Mom, I love you beyond measure. You're the best gift I've ever received. I don't like it when you're here because you spend all your time in your own room. Homework could be done in the same room as I am, but the time you spend in the same room is face down, and I was able to be with you when you were young even though your father wasn't, and that's why you were only in half daycare so I could be with you more. I still want to, but the difference is that now I have no energy. First of all, why are you complaining about not having enough time with me if you are not up for it? Secondly, my dad was working at the time, and she wasn't. Third, I was a child, and parents are supposed to spend time with their children. Mom, I don't know what I did wrong that you don't dare tell me things and shut yourself in your own room. Now finally, to the point. I had borrowed her car so I could drive my friend from one place to another for a couple of hours. We had an agreement that I could use her car all summer, whenever I needed to, if I paid for the fuel myself, as her commute was within walking distance. I was returning the car, and she was taking me back to my place. I was telling her about my travel plans for next spring with a friend, as she had asked what countries we were thinking about. Well, Ireland would be nice to visit again, but my friend M would like to see the place better, as it would be a new country for her. Mom, it might not be worth going there as it's slower to get around, and you might want to go on your own trip. Me, yes, and you should probably rent your own car if you're going to be in the country for a longer period of time. Mom, well, that's not what I meant. Do you ever listen? Let me have my say. Will you let your father have his say? Me, come on. Mom, or your stepmother. Mom, I'm only good for when you need a car or want money or know you'll need money in the future. Otherwise, you can't contact me. Me, yes, because the time you see me, you're screaming or getting angry. Mom, I'm only human. Me, yes, I am too. Mom, no need to drive all the way to the yard. Just leave it on the road, and I'll leave right away. Then tell me how much money you need for the trip next spring. No need to contact me. And then she drove off. I am not surprised this actually happened. I had been waiting for it. For my mental health, but not for a reason like this. My plan was to slowly meet her from time to time, and maybe leave it at that so we could see each other at family gatherings without the awkwardness, and maybe heal our relationship. But now I can understand that that's not it. I don't know what I should do about my graduation and such. I don't want her to come, but she would get angrier and more insulted if I didn't. She might contact me before that anyway, so she could be invited since my career path and life have been so important to her. Well, now I tell my dad everything and get along with him and his new family, so it is a win. But I still don't know what to do with my mother.